Okay, this one's actually really got me a couple of times over the years, and I'm like thinking, I always come back to this one and think, if only there was actually a better way of modeling. So if you haven't watched it already, I already have shared metallic bonding model on the previous tweet. So there you go. There's your free sea of mobile delocalized electrons, bungs. Their positive charge, and if you just zoom in on there, you've actually got like some inverted bungs with pen. So that's that. Now, it's introduced kind of like the Ferrero Rocher box as an alternative if you haven't got it. And it kind of like got me thinking because kind of like this kind of lends itself to alloying as well. If you're teaching this, you're naturally going to be going on to talking about this. I happen to chance upon a massive collection of ball bearings. I'm sure that they are very easy to obtain, and I've actually got two collections here. I've got a small, relatively small size. I can tell that they're small size. You can get the students to check those, and what they'll probably do is they'll probably slide along with the surface of their fingertips just to check. So if you've got like a slightly larger one in there, it kind of disrupts it. So if I just pop that in here, you can see that tessellation has now been disrupted. There we go. So it's over here. So if you just look at on the top, not quite, the hexagonal close packing that you would expect to get there. So the challenge is to try and use this to model alloy. So here I have like Ferrero Rocher, again, another excuse to buy Ferrero Rocher for the department, get the tray. Not suggesting that you try and charge the department with it. And kind of like I'm using a little stack of post-it notes over here just to keep everything at the bottom over here. I did try and use, it's worth thinking about journey. Here's some post-it notes that are still wrapped. There's a rubber band around them. I tried to get some kind of quantitative feel on the fact that if they were all the same size, these are modelling obviously the ions, the positive ions in metallic bonding. If they're all the same size, then they're relatively easy to slide around. I was just like playing about it. I was like, I think I've got it. So here it is, right? So use a rubber band. Okay, rubber band. Just go on the surface over here, and you can get the students to think about it. You can actually think, right? Okay, how easy is it to slide across the surface? And they're actually feeling something. They can feel like there is there's a level, some level of resistance. They jiggle it around, and they can see, right, okay, this journey is really, really easy because I can actually slide. Now, don't get them to sort of like rush it all the way through because the ball bearings will actually go. It depends really how many ball bearings. We can use this. You can use marbles to model this as well. It's just don't go for any like expensive tap. Right. Okay. So there we go. Right. So that's relatively easy. Right. That's child's play. Right. Okay. Now let's substitute. Let's get a nice selection. We've got one over here. To keep it a fair test, so you can take two out there. 3, take one out. 4, 5, so just put those in there, take 2 out. Okay, so they can't complain about the number of marbles or ball bearings being uneven. All right, so here we go. I'll take one extra out. So it's the same number. Okay, so I've actually used them around about 7. All right, okay, so here we go, and just make sure that they're evenly distributed. And there's two ways of doing this, right? And the first way that you can actually do this is you can actually say, right, okay, let's keep this at the same level. How can we make it immediately? As soon as it's pushing on something, I'm not making this up, right? As soon as it finds one of the larger ball bearings, it has to navigate, it has to rotate around it, and if it's going to try and push through it, then you actually instinctively have to push through several. And then if you've got like the whole network pushing against you, it is actually much tougher. So, and the second thing that you could do is you could sort of like say, right, okay, well, let's see if we actually go over the ball bearings. Is that a difficult journey? Either way, you actually tangibly feel that this is a tougher journey. I'm not even making this up. You should try it, and you'll see that this is like resisting. I'm just doing tiny little push here. Try and keep the ball bearings there. So that's like the rules, but you do not have the amount of slip that you initially had. So I think something like this would get kids to realise and win over what you're actually suggesting. You know, that there's actually more resistance to the lattice when you've actually got slightly larger. Then you can start slightly larger ions. Then you can start talking about elements that are used in there. You can start talking about the mixes. You can start talking about the percentages. You can even start talking about sometimes, you know, you have the role of carbon in alloying as well. And like different types of alloys to really stretch and challenge it when you're talking about interstitial alloys and things like that. So anyway, there you go. There you go. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope that shares a little bit of insight into what I've been doing this morning with my ball bearings and Ferrero Rocher. Go out and buy them. Bye.